Hey Vikings Nation, are you ready for something big? Because what I'm about to break down could completely reshape the future of this team. We're talking bold moves, high-risk decisions, and a potential trade that could turn the Minnesota Vikings offense into an absolute nightmare for defenses across the league. But here's the twist. Is this move genius? Or a massive gamble that could backfire? Stick with me because this story has layers, and by the end of this video, you might see this offseason in a completely different way. And I've got to ask you right now, would you trade a first-round pick for a superstar running back? Drop your answer in the comments because this debate is about to heat up fast. The Minnesota Vikings entered this offseason with a lot of expectations, but not a lot of action. Outside of adding quarterback Kyler Murray and cornerback James Pierre, things have been surprisingly quiet. And for a team trying to compete in one of the toughest divisions in football, that silence has not gone unnoticed. Fans expected more firepower, more aggression, more urgency. But the reality is the Vikings were handcuffed. Salary cap limitations made it nearly impossible to go all in during free agency, forcing the front office to play things safe. At least for now. Let's talk about those limitations for a second, because they matter more than people think. The Vikings had opportunities to free up cap space, big ones. Moving on from veterans like TJ Hawkinson or Brian O'Neill could have opened the door for major signings. But the team made it clear they're not ready to sacrifice their core. So instead of making flashy moves, Minnesota chose stability. And while that might sound smart on paper, it left a lot of fans wondering if this team is doing enough to truly contend. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Because while free agency didn't deliver fireworks, the trade market might. According to reports and analysis from insiders, the Vikings could be preparing to make a major splash. Not by signing, but by trading. And not just any trade. We're talking about a move that could completely transform the offense overnight. The proposal is bold, it's aggressive, and it's definitely controversial. The idea is simple. The Vikings would send their 18th overall pick in the upcoming draft to the Miami Dolphins. And in return, they would land one of the most explosive young running backs in the NFL, Achane, plus a fourth-round pick. Let that sink in for a second. Giving up a first-round pick for a running back. That alone is enough to spark debate across the entire fanbase. But here's the vision behind it, and it's actually pretty exciting. Imagine this offense. Kyler Murray at quarterback, Achane in the backfield, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on the outside, TJ Hawkinson at tight end. That's not just good, that's terrifying. We're talking about speed, explosiveness, and playmaking ability at every single position. Defenses wouldn't know where to focus. And in Kevin O'Connell's system, this could be one of the most dynamic offenses we've ever seen from the Minnesota Vikings. Now let's focus on Achane himself because this isn't just hype. The numbers back it up. As a rookie, he exploded onto the scene with nearly 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns on just 130 touches. That level of efficiency is almost unheard of. Even crazier, he averaged 7.8 yards per carry. That's not just good, that's historic. And he didn't slow down. His role grew, his production increased, and he quickly became one of the most dangerous dual-threat backs in football. Last season, Achane put up over 1,800 all-purpose yards and 12 total touchdowns. That's elite-level production. He's not just a runner, he's a weapon. He can break a game open with one touch. One missed tackle and he's gone. And that's exactly what the Vikings have been missing in the O'Connell era. That home run threat out of the backfield. But there's another layer to this story that makes it even more interesting. There's a connection here. A real one. Minnesota's new assistant head coach, Frank Smith, was Achane's offensive coordinator in Miami. He knows exactly what this player can do. He's seen it up close. He understands how to use him. And that familiarity could be a huge factor in making this kind of move possible. This isn't just a random idea. It actually makes football sense. But let's be real for a moment. This move comes with serious risks. Running backs have shorter careers. That's just the reality of the position. And giving up a mid-first-round pick for a player who might need a big contract soon? That's a gamble. You're not just investing in talent. You're betting on durability, consistency, and long-term value. And that's where the debate really begins. On one side, you have the argument that this is a win-now move. You're adding a proven playmaker to a team that's ready to compete. On the other side, you're sacrificing a valuable draft pick, a chance to build for the future. So what matters more right now for the Minnesota Vikings? Immediate impact or long-term stability? Now here's another twist in the story. Reports came out that the Miami Dolphins are not interested in trading Achane. They've made it clear they value him highly. But let's be honest. In the NFL, everything has a price. And if a team comes calling with a first-round pick, that's not something you ignore easily. So while Miami says he's not available, that door might not be completely closed. And that brings us back to the Vikings. If this opportunity is real, if there's even a chance to make this deal happen, should they go for it? Because moves like this don't come around often. This could be the difference between a good offense and a championship-caliber one. Or it could be a decision that haunts the franchise for years. That's how high the stakes are. So now I want to hear from you, Vikings fans. Would you trade the 18th pick for Achane? Do you think this is the missing piece? Or a risk not worth taking? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Let's get this conversation going. And if you love staying updated with the latest Minnesota Vikings news, rumors, and breakdowns like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow Vikings fans. Because this offseason is far from over, and something tells me the biggest move might still be coming.